Welcome back, eldest daughters. I am so proud of you, and I hope that you've been having an amazing time since we last got to hang out together. And now, I'm going to hold your hand when I ask you this. Give me your hand. Are you ready? Who are you? Seriously, who are you? Today, I've got notes again. I got so many notes for this episode, y'all. Today, we're going to talk about the intersection between learning about who we are and our powers of manifestation. This is going to be real talk mixed with woo woo so hard. This episode is going to be perfect for eldest daughters who are learning how to reclaim their power, who have dipped their toes into manifestation and are going through that, and really for the firstborn eldest daughters who are working on identifying, healing, and stepping into who they are right now at their core. Let's get into it. Welcome back to Crystal's Journal, a podcast for the Gen X millennial firstborn eldest daughters. I am Crystal Storm, a podcast host, co-founder of the Tales of the Forgotten Fiction Network. Go to crystalimagination.com to learn more about me. Go to talesoftheforgotten.com to learn more about all the audio dramas that I create and all that fun stuff. Links are down in the description. Let's get into today's topic. I got notes, so you will... Don't be distracted if you're watching this and I don't know what's going on with my hand. You see the eyes dip. Don't worry about it. No promises on not rambling. You know how we do here. So get your coffee. I got mine. Shout out to PJs. We are not sponsored by PJs, but if there is a PJs in your area, go get that coffee because it's banging. Get your adult beverage. Pop you a gummy because some of this might be a little triggering if you need to. Okay. Also, go see Sinners. Sinners is an incredible fucking movie. Holy shit, go see Sinners. Please go see Sinners. God damn. All right, but anyway, let's get back on topic. So if you are like me, you have probably dug into manifestation and law of assumption and what all that means and how we can use it to better our lives, right? I have done a lot of studying. I've been spiritual woo woo for a long ass time, diving into all that. That'll be a whole different podcast where we talk about that. But I am in the trenches of it right now. And what I mean is, it is one thing to believe, and that it is another thing for those beliefs to be tested in like real life, real serious scenarios, right? Because we watch a lot of these videos, law of assumption, and people talk about trying to get things like it's so like la-di-da kind of blase, right? It's you probably if you and it like you wish you was just having problems with like a significant partner or something, or you wish you was just trying to get like a car or something just for the LOLs. Like you wish it was that lighthearted. Like if you're like me, like you dug into this because like no motherfucker, like I need my reality to stop being this. I need to find a way to reclaim my power and to stop the struggle, right? That's why that's why one of the reasons that I dove into this, it was literally a journey of, and that's how my spirituality has always been and why I started on the path. It was this is unacceptable. How do I fix it? How do I solve it, right? Eldest daughters, eldest daughters, we got to solve problems. That's what we do, right? When there's a fucking problem, who they calling? Us. They fucking calling us. They talking shit about us, but they still calling us. Right. Anyway, so when I say tested to, I don't want to trigger you that way. Trust me, there's going to be a lot of stuff in this video that triggers you, but that's not how I want to trigger you. When I say tested, I do not mean that the universe is sitting there going, "Oh shit, she ain't meditate today. She didn't say her affirmation 70 times like a fucking Hail Mary. She's not blah blah." No, 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 no. It's not like that. It's not like that. When I say tested, I mean money where your mouth is. Do you believe you have power over your reality or not? Or do you only believe it when it's easy? Do you stop believing when it gets hard? Right. Right. And we're going to get into why it's so hard to believe when it's hard because, we got stuff. It's okay. It's okay. I need you to know that. So I turned to this, like I said earlier, not just because I wanted like a miracle, right? It was because I need and want to be able to move things in my reality that defied traditional logic about how things are supposed to be able to go. And I have gently done that my entire life. And you might be the same. There might be moments in your life where things have just worked out for you. Like maybe you're like things have always kind of worked out for you when you're really honest. Now, there might have been a struggle. The path might have been harder than we wanted it to be, but things just always worked out. Sometimes in ways that if you had done a Google search on what the resolution was to your problem, it was not that, right? That there are certain laws, right? Certain ways that you can get things in the material world, and you're like, well, actually that's not how I got the thing. I got the thing because of, and we can logic it all day, but you just might have already experienced a little bit of magic, a little bit of you being able to move and shape things the way you want them to be, right? So that's what pulled me into this particular subset brand of whatever we're going to call it. So there is so much in this world that we do not have control over, which is a trigger in and of itself, because if you are an eldest daughter, you are more than likely a fucking control freak. You wish you could just chill, but you can't because you're not allowed, right? I get it. I get it. But I am also at the point in my life where I am ready for my life to be played on easy mode, the same way I play video games. I am done with the struggling of basic things. I'm just done. I'm so fucking over that. So this is something that I believe that we can shape, mold, and have that kind of control over. So I'm going to ask you again, because this is what really helped me understand what all the good manifestation law of assumption teachers are out here trying to teach. This is what kind of nailed it in, because I was watching different people and learning about different modalities and all that kind of stuff. And in hilarious fashion, I don't know if this happens to you, but it happens to me a lot. Well, you're like, you'll kind of get something and you'll practice it and and then all of a sudden you'll just have that complete fucking ha moment. And it's the type of aha moment that makes you wonder why you didn't just get it 20 minutes ago. Like why it's okay that it did. I'm learning to talk to myself very nicely. It's okay that you did, but it was just like, it was that for me. When I held your hand and I asked you, who are you? I don't want your resume. I'm not asking for your to-do list. I don't want to know about all your productivity. I want to know who you are. Are you someone who always gets what they want? Or are you triggered by me even saying that because as a child, we are taught that to get everything we want means that we're bratty and spoiled? Are you someone who feels worthy and valuable right now? Not after you do the thing, not after you succeed in XYZ, not after you fulfill duties, no. Now, right now, are you someone who feels valuable and worthy? Who are you? And now here's the big motherfucker. Do you let outside forces dictate who you are? Do you believe that you are successful and valuable, and then you look at your bank account and you let it tell you that that's a lie? Do you feel like you are enough and you have done enough, but then you look at your to-do list and you let that tell you that actually you haven't done enough because all those things aren't checked off? Do you let external forces tell you who you are? Do you feel like your life should be easy and you should actually get all the things that you want? Or do you have a voice from your childhood or even just society telling you that that's wrong, that you should not want, have, or need that? Because if you do, you will become whatever. I'm going to say something else that might trigger you, okay? I'm still holding your hand, by the way. We're hand holding right now. It's cool. Scarcity is not a moral compass any more than wealth is a lack of one. And I'm going to say that again. Scarcity and struggling is not a moral compass any more than having wealth is a lack of a moral compass. That's not how we should be playing this game. I have decided that I am a good person, and I will move according to that belief and what I believe that means. I have decided that I am someone who will do no harm, but I will take no shit. Okay? I choose not to practice baneful magic, but I ain't got no problems with anybody else who does. Okay? But if you keep pissing me off, watch me whisper your name to some water spirits, and then I can deal with the Catholic guilt of that in therapy. Okay? Like, that's just like, but it's really important to me to be a good person, to be a healed person. Like, that's just those are things that are just important to me, to be very self-aware and self-reflective, and to have people in my corner who are always kind of just helping keep you on the right track and cheering you on and calling you on your shit, and hugging you and supporting your victories. Like, those are things that are just important to me. But I've also decided that there is nothing, absolutely fucking nothing wrong with wanting my life to be on easy mode and wanting to get every goddamn thing that I want. There's nothing wrong with that. Me getting everything I want will never not make me a good person. It will just make my life easier and make it easier for me to help others. Who are you? You need to be really, really firm in the person that you want to be, not just for life, us being grounded in our own truths, but for manifestation. And I'm speaking, and when I say that you need to be, that just means that if you're kind of in this circle, in this bubble, then that's just how the magic works for me. We'll get into it. But for me, let me say it that way. For me, it is very important for me to be firm in who I am, because for me, everything else now sprouts from that identity. And I'm learning, I no longer require outside forces to validate that. I validate that. I get to decide. I get to decide I am a successful businesswoman. I get to decide what that success looks like. I get to decide that I am someone who only good things happen to now. I am someone who is proud of myself now, in this moment and all the moments. I am someone who is worthy. I am someone who produces things of value now. So when I am putting out my order to the universe, God, source, goddess, whoever we're co-creating with, right? It all is coming from that deep knowing of who I am, what I want, and I do not accept breadcrumbs. If you are an eldest daughter who was put in a role of caregiver, or you are in charge now, you don't accept breadcrumbs. You expect excellence. You expect it with kindness, but you still expect that. I expect nothing less from the order I put out or the realities I want to create. And let me now that I'm talking all like serious, right? We was looking at each other's eye, we was holding hands. Let me just be so fucking for real with you. This is a scary place to be in. This is terrifying. This is terrifying. This is absolutely fucking terrifying. And I can say that because I know I'm not blocking my manifestations, right? I swear to God, the manifestation community, I swear to God, they tiptoe so hard around about being real about where you are and who you are, because don't mess it up, don't mess it up. Don't give power to bullshit, you guys. Don't give, not even bullshit, but you don't have to give power to everything. This isn't me wavering. Me being honest about how difficult it is to step from one way of thinking into another is not me blocking it. Is it going to get easier? Yes. Do I absolutely want to affirm how easy it is for me to get whatever, blah, 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 blah. But I can still be a magical motherfucker and be a realistic motherfucker, right? We can be two things. We don't have to be one or the other, right? It's hard, but we can marry those two. I swear the fuck we can. So when I'm so real with y'all about how scary it is to be in that place, that is me sitting in the honesty of the process for me. For me. I am sitting in the fact that, yes, I do have all this incredible power, and so do you, by the way. But I am still a human with human emotions, and I will feel and acknowledge them, period, point blank. The difference is I don't give them power anymore. They do not have the power to shape my reality. Anger should. Anger's a really good one, but you get to pick and choose. You don't always, and this is also, you don't have to be happy all the time with what you're trying to get. You can be screaming, crying. I mean, my voiceover booth is right here. Ask me how many times I have literally, oh my God, things have just been, we've been going through it. But I have literally sat in this fucking thing, like in the dark, just sitting in there, saying my fucking mantras, feeling my feelings, believing in myself while also fucking crying like a baby. bro. Like just understand that you do not have to be a lot of people. Some people do. Some people only manifest from a place of love and happiness, and that's them. But I'm like, bro, I am a wealth of fucking emotions. And here's the thing: it is so important for me, especially, to be able to feel and acknowledge those emotions, because I grew up as a child in a household where I was always too much, too loud, too this, too that, had to be aloof to combat the kind of chaos that was around me. Like, my feelings were not fucking valid when I was growing up. They just weren't. There was so many times that they just you're just not. You have to be and act a certain way, and fuck how you feel. So it is so important and healing and necessary, as I come back to myself and acknowledge and love all the parts of myself, that I let myself feel how I need to feel, and I tell myself that it is okay. It is so fucking okay to feel those things, because me having feelings doesn't stop me from getting what I want. That's just me living in my truth of that moment. In this moment, I am sad. I am scared. I am angry. That doesn't mean that I can't get everything I want. So feel your fucking feelings. Just don't give them power. That's it. Move through them. Move how you need to. And remember who you are. Listen, as logical women, when we step into the realm of magic, right? Because I've got that Capricorn rising, but I'm also a Scorpio, right? So when we step into this world of magic, it's a mind fuck. It is an absolute mind fuck, because your ego side and that identity that you have been holding on to for so long, that is made up of, all of our experiences that, what we haven't healed, we're dealing with, we're healing, all that kind of stuff. But when you kind of decide who you're going to be, there's a part of you that flips the fuck out. Bruh, flips out. So like I said, it's one thing to believe, but it's a whole other thing to believe when you are in the trenches of believing. Like, it's easy to believe in some shit where everything's good, is great, you're on your game. Try to believe in some shit when you're in your voiceover booth, you ain't even turned the light on, and you're holding your teddy bear, you're fucking sobbing. Snot coming out your nose. You're like sobbing. Believe then. That's when you know who the fuck you are. Believe then. Man, and if you've got trauma, if you have a hard time saying only good things happen to me because the worst thing has happened to you, I want to hug you. I hope you hug yourself and you love yourself a lot, but I fucking get it. I I get it. I get it. I remember when I was first going to therapy for some stuff. It was so bad. And I was not, I shouldn't say bad. It was so, I realized how big the wound was, because I even admitted to my therapist that I was so in the trenches of my healing that it was hard for me to say, like, I'll see you tomorrow, because I didn't know. I don't fucking know. Like, I have no idea. So it was actually like it was hard for me. And I still have remained, like, I feel it in my chest when I say that, like, just to say to somebody, well, I'll see you tomorrow. you know, woo, woo. So to be able to have an affirmation, a mantra, a belief that, no, that's that, but this is now, and now only good things happen to me. That feels wonderful. That feels great now, but I did a lot of work before I got to that moment. I did I did the work, and I'm still doing the work, and I don't think the work is ever ending, but that doesn't mean we can't get what we want in the meantime. So let's talk more about that too. Because I want you guys to know that the more we sit in this space, and the more that you are uncomfortable being uncomfortable, and trust me, it will get really fucking uncomfortable. But the more that you can sit in that and still sit in your declaration of I am, it's gonna get easier. I swear to you it does. And it's gonna be good days and bad days, but you you have to be uncomfortable. You have to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. There is healing there. There is a lesson there. There is, and I get it. I get it. And listen, when it gets to be too much, you're allowed to say that's enough. You're allowed to pop the gummy, self care, do whatever it is you need to do. But more often than not, we've got to be okay with sitting in that feeling. Because on the other side lies the mastery that we seek. This is the work. It's not out there, it's in here. This is the work. I have had plenty of moments in my life, my glorious 44 years so far, where I was sitting in this in between space, but I've never been in an in between space like this. This is a new one. But I've been in that point where, the past is gone, and so you can't go back. You don't want to. But the forward, it almost feels like it's not ready for you yet, or like you're in like this thorny, terrible forest and you're trying to find your way through. It's all very dramatic, right? But and that's okay. It can be. Your feelings are bad. We can be as dramatic as we fucking want. See, I'm learning to self-talk. You can see the positive self-talk. It's totally fucking dramatic and it's fucking great. But that transition space in between, I could skip it. I could if I could skip it. Like I could skip it. I could skip it. It's like that, it's like the training montage, and you would just like the fast forward training montage. You don't want the real, like I don't want to have to, I could just get the montage. I don't have to, oh, I gotta, okay. But this is it, y'all. This is, for me at least, this fusion of standing in my power and magic, as I like to call it, because I just love that word, is necessary, and it is healing, and it's so great, y'all. But it's a motherfucker. Like I'm not gonna hold you. Like it's a fucking motherfucker. Bruh. So let's talk about manifestation practices that have worked for me. Now that you were sitting there and you're talking to yourself and you're going, well shit, who the fuck am I? I know. You'll have fun with that. Especially if you come from an organized religion type background. Um, it can be difficult to wrap your head around this, and I get it too. You need to understand that you are the key. And I really need you to hear me and sit with this. You get to decide. You get to decide. That is the law. That is the universal truth, is you get to decide. You get to decide what works. You get to decide what doesn't work. Okay? That is why some techniques work for this person, don't work for that person. It doesn't mean these techniques are trash or whatever. Like, don't listen to any teachers that tells you that their way is the only way, and if you're doing this, like that is, it's literally, you take what you need from these teachers, right? Know yourself, know your intuition, do what is right, what feels right for you. We are not monoliths. Everybody's lived experience is different. What we have gone through is different. The things that we are trying to heal are all different, right? So how we move and how we choose to exert our magic is going to be different. So you need to know that you are the fucking key. So when I first started, I really, really, really loved robotic affirmations, mantras. Okay, and if you know, you know. But one of the reasons that I loved this so much, it was because it took off a lot of the pressure, right? Because you had so many teachers out there where you got to believe and you got to do this and you got to do that and blah, 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 blah. And robotic affirmation was just like, what the fuck do you want? Say that shit 1,000 times. I was like, bet. Okay. And one of the reasons that I loved it so much was because it really informed me how dark it had gotten up here. It really, when I started saying, my different level of affirmations, it really kind of informed me how much of every day I was spending betting against myself, thinking against myself. And that's really what we're doing, right? Unintentionally, it's okay. It's okay. You can still get what you want. It is okay. Okay? But it was just oh shit, I spend a lot of time thinking about fuck shit I do not want. Okay? So you call them whatever you want. It's a repetition of something where you're not thinking against yourself. And I think if you find an affirmation and your brain is like, it does that, you say something, then your brain's like, actually, that can also help inform you where there's a wound. And that gives you clarity and space to kind of work with that. Okay. I have I want to say had, because she and I are really kind of coming together, a very, 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 very mean girl. She's mean. She was very mean. She said not nice things to me. I did not like it. Okay. And that was when I realized that I needed to focus less on affirmations about, can I get this thing? And more on, I love you. Don't skip this part. Do not skip this part, especially if you are like me and you also want to be a good person. You just don't want to be somebody who just gets shit. You want to get the shit, and then you also want to be wise enough to be able to hold it in a very loving, intentional, empathetic way, because this magic is neutral as fuck, y'all. It does not care if you're a good person or not. It's waiting for an order. So you decide, who are you? Um, but then I realized, oh, now I gotta do some self-love, some self-concept, as they call it, right? I stopped ignoring it. And what I did was not deep. I just started doing mirror work. And that meant in the morning, I would stop, I'd be in the bathroom, I'd do my business, then I'd look in the mirror and I would say, I love you 10 times. I would look myself in the fucking mirror and I would just say, I love you. And my brain could say whatever it wanted to say, because like a child, it can act how it needs to act. Like you can lash out. That's fine. Like I get it. I get it. I love you regardless. I love you. I love you. I would just say it. I would just say it. And then I would start saying some of the affirmations. And here's what I've noticed. And I didn't have to do this a lot. Like I'm not even, this wasn't like years and years and years. This was not. This was like a month. Like I just started, and then the mean girl got quieter. She's pushing back against me less. I'm not saying I'm not saying that, things are easy and it's great. I'm not like, one of the reasons that it's so important for me to make these videos when I make them is because I'm in it. I'm in it with you guys right now. Like I am in it. So many of these videos, they're already in their house. The manifestations has already come. I'm in it. I am in it right now, and I can tell you that it's gotten better. It's just gotten so much better, and I think against myself less. So now when I wake up in the morning, even if my nervous system we still have some work to do on regulation, right? Even if sometimes I still wake up with that sense of panic, my first thought is no longer things that I don't want to happen anymore. Now my first thought is just random ass affirmations, because ADHD, unmedicated brains, they just be saying shit. But now this shit that I'm saying is shit I want to hear. And that is such a fucking game changer. It is such a fucking game changer for me to have a mind that doesn't immediately attack me when I wake up, to just be like, oh, we're on our fucking ADHD stuff, which is great. And we're just like, but now we're saying shit I want to hear. Huge, huge. Don't skip the self concept. Don't skip the self love. Don't forget that one of my affirmations was that I am loved, valued, respected, and protected, right? But then I was like, external. Swing it back to me. I love, value, and respect myself. Huge. Huge. Stepping into who I am, not needing the external validation. Oh, I'm going to get it. I will be loved, valued, and respected, and I am divinely protected. But also, I love, value, and respect myself. Who are you? You get it. You know. So I briefly said that the magic was neutral. And I think that there needs to be an understanding of that too, because I talked in one of my other videos too about how sometimes when you're trying to manifest and get what you want, like in the beginning, things feel cruel, especially when you're not getting what you want. And I get it. And this was kind of like the thing that I needed to understand is I 100% believe that I have a spirit team that is made up of ancestors and spirit guides and angels and dragons and all kinds of awesome shit that is here for my greatest and highest good with harm to none. But we take no shit. We send that shit back. Don't send no shit at me. How dare you? Um, and I absolutely believe that, right? That I have this loving team. And I absolutely do believe that there is a loving force in the universe. I absolutely believe that. If you ask me what the strongest emotion is, I will always tell you love. This is not to say that our anger isn't powerful, and because it absolutely is. I think feminine rage has been suppressed and needs to be let out, because I feel like in that type of rage, we can get a lot of shit done. So I think that is also powerful and beautiful too. But I think love is one of the most beautiful forces in this universe. So I think that there absolutely is that. But I also am I am also that understanding that when it comes to us, doing this manifestation, this law of assumption, and molding and shaping our realities, you don't have to be a good person to get what you want. So you are not being tested unless you decide you are. Don't give power to things that you don't want to have power. As when it comes to this, our little bubbles of reality, we're in charge. We're in charge. We're in charge now, where we maybe have not felt in charge before. So don't give power to things that you don't want. Okay? And that doesn't mean that you have to police your thoughts 24/7. My God, girl, don't stress yourself out like that. Just don't give them power. Your brain's going to do what your brain's going to do. You going to flip out. You going to have human emotions. Let it do what it's got to do. You just don't give it power. You just be like, okay. Anyway, damn, that's crazy. Recognize your feelings as you need to recognize. Be there for yourself the way that other people were not there for you. That's so important for us as eldest daughters, right? It's so important that we're there for ourselves in ways that other people were not when we needed them to be. So be there for yourself. But you also, you can be like, not that, this. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to fight. But just know that there's no tests out there. There's nothing that's checking to make sure that you're doing something right. It's just like, what's the order? What's the command? What are the instructions? Who are you? What do you want? Know that. Live that. Be in that. That's it. It sounds simple, but it'll be, you'll go through it. It's fine. It's fine. We're here for you. So, my mean girl, me and her, we working it out. And I love that for us. I love that for us. I love thinking about all the different versions of me that I'm healing and holding and kind of not, and reintegrating into myself. And it's really lovely. It's really lovely. But, now when I say I love you, Crystal, when I look at myself in the mirror and tell myself that I love, I don't get that much pushback anymore, you guys. I really don't. It gets less and less and less. And the more that I decided that there was nothing in my external life that was not going to tell me who I am, the more that it's scary, but the more that it feels true and right. And I love that. I love stepping into this knowing and not being afraid to step into this knowing, because there's this resistance inside of me that is so afraid to be that, because of all the things that we were told about people who do get what who do I don't know what I'm saying, who do get what they want. That was also Crystal. That who do get what they want, right? There's so much of that, that gets shoved in our face all the time, that we can't be this, because then you'll turn into, like, you'll all of a sudden you'll just wake up one day and you'll be a fucking supervillain, right? So there's a lot, but you have to know yourself, and you get to decide who you are. And we have to stop letting external circumstances decide for us. I didn't say we weren't going to get triggered. I said we're not going to let them decide who we are. We decide, and we move accordingly. From self-love came right back to meditation. Have to. It's keeping me fucking calm. It's helping keeping me calm while I'm freaking out as I need to freak out. Okay? And I am leaning and learning all about surrender and trust. And that is a motherfucker. That is where I am currently sitting. Because my wife and I are going through a situation right now that is currently defying logic. And we are being shown every day that the things that we are creating for ourselves are working, but it's also really fucking scary. It's really fucking scary. Trust is hard. Trust is so hard, especially when there is a past where you were let down. But hear me, okay? Our past is not our future, and it is not our present. And if you have ever had a magical moment in your life, just a moment where you felt connection, where you had a situation that worked out, your life can change in an instant. An absolute fucking instant. My past is there, and I am grateful for it in a way, because it has given me a lived experience that I think I can use to help others, and that's just really important to me, to be of service and to be of help. It's one of the reasons why I do this podcast. But there is also a little girl that I really wish she didn't have to go through all that. I do. I really, how can you not? I'm not a psychopath. There is a little girl that I wish hadn't been hurt, that I wish hadn't been hit, that I wish when she said she needed help, she had gotten it. There is a little girl. I was sitting here earlier looking over my notes and thinking about when I was a child, I used to tell myself that I loved myself all the time in a very kind of a childlike, obnoxious, unmedicated ADHD child. I have a little bit of the hyperactivity. And I was also just a very loud child, but I used to say it all the time. And you stop because people tell you that, but I remember, there was a part of it, I used to say it all the time that I love myself. Anyway, but there's a lot, right, that we didn't get, but we can give it to ourselves now. And that's one of the reasons that this is so important for you to stand in the truth of what you are and to reclaim your power. Take it back, okay? But I want you to be compassionate with yourself, and I want you to be kind, and I want you to start talking to yourself the way that you talk to other people in your life if you have loving and healthy relationships. Because I guarantee you that the way you talk to yourself, you would never talk to your partner. Some of you might be gentle parenting a child right now. You would never talk to your child probably the way that you sometimes talk to yourself. Stop it. Start talking to yourself the way that you talk to everybody else. I am learning to do that, and another game changer. I'm not talking to myself mean no more. I'm not doing it. If I wouldn't say it to Hannah, I'm not going to say it to me. Flat out, why don't I deserve the same kindness and love that I'm giving everybody else? Give it back to yourself. Huge. Game changer. Huge. Huge. Start talking nice to yourself. Like truth, don't say nothing mean about yourself. Don't be like, damn, why you ain't do that? No, no, no. We don't talk to ourselves the way they did. We don't do that no more. We don't talk to ourselves like that. I'm telling you, if you would not say that shit to the person in your life that you love the most, that you got a healthy relationship with, don't say it to yourself. Be conscious of your thoughts, because a lot of the things that we create, we are doing so unconsciously, and we are doing so from places of being unhealed and from trauma and from the past. Just be conscious of your thoughts. I am not saying police them, especially if you got ADHD, you unmedicated. My God, that is exhausting. Okay. Just stop thinking against yourself. You know what the worst case scenario is. You do not need to think of it 87,000 times. I know. You do not need to think. You do not need to do different scenarios. You don't need to do that. You don't need to do that. Stop thinking against yourself. I want you to put as much focus on what you do want as on what you don't want. And when you first start, that is going to feel like an impossible fucking battle. It is going to feel like the hardest fucking thing you have ever fucking done in your life, to simply stop the fucking spiral. That is where all different kind of modalities, that's where you have to find the modality that will help you. That's why robotic affirmations were so powerful for me, because my brain is a very loop-de-loop-de-loop-de-loop-de again and again and again and again. So once I started to kind of reprogram it, game changer. Fucking game changer. Game changer. Not saying we don't have spiral moments, saying that we don't have spirally moments. I'm saying that I'm like, whoop, and we try again. It's just be conscious of your thoughts, but don't give things weight. Don't be like, oh shit, I ain't think today 87,000 times I fucked up. Don't say that. Don't get that power. You get to decide. Who are you? That means you can be somebody who gets what they want even while XYZ. Who are you? Decide. That's the easy part. Now be it. That's the hard part. So this work, y'all, it's internal. We know how to dance in the outside world. We're the eldest fucking daughters, right? We're the overachievers. We're the had to get the straight A's. We know how to fucking dance in this fucking world, even though we fucking hate it, even though we're struggling, maybe, even though we're not struggling no more. We know how to dance in this world, right? We know how to do that. It's internal. This one's going to be hard. This is where the work needs to be done. Okay. It's not impossible. You can do this. You can do this. You can do this. You're doing it already. You love yourself already. You know you do. If you didn't love yourself, you wouldn't care. You already love yourself. Withdraw when you need to. Come back. Do your robotic affirmations, okay? Infest your fucking mind rapid fire with the thoughts. Start right now. Get back into meditation, y'all. It's not optional. Walk it out, punch it out, draw it out, read it out. You have to come in and sit with yourself. You have to spend time with yourself. You have to connect with yourself, with your intuition, and then you can talk to the trees, to your spirit guides, to who the fuck ever. Whoever it is that's in your corner for your greatest good with harm to none, like whoever it is. Love that for you. Get with yourself. Meditate 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever the brain, whatever you got space for today, it doesn't matter. Before bed, after the gummy, before the gummy, doesn't matter. Don't skip the fucking meditation. I don't care where you are at that. Fucking meditate. Science says. Even science says do that shit. Fucking do that shit. It will help. Shit, talk to yourself. You know you already doing that. You know you already walking around talking to yourself. You might as well talk nice to yourself. Do that shit, okay? Connect. Visualize. If you've got active imagination, do that shit. Journal it out. Script it out. Do what's right for you. Change it up. You can do different modalities, different day. The point is just staying consistent in who you are and what you're creating from that. Excuse me. Oh, we're going again. And what you're creating from that knowing. That's what's important. So I want you to tell us down in the comments, and this isn't me just fishing for engagement. Like, I genuinely want to know, like, what are y'all working with? Like, what's working for y'all? Be honest about your struggles, right? I know that even I'm like kind of like making sure, like trying to like kind of police what I say sometimes, but you want to speak real, but you also want to speak your truth into existence. You know what I'm saying? So I get that struggle, but we're figuring it out, right? Nothing can stop our manifestation. That's been another really great one for me to kind of give myself grace. Nothing can stop. That was awesome, Crystal. Nothing can stop my manifestation. Nothing. I can speak freely. I can feel my feelings. I can speak my truth. I still know who I am. I still know what I want, and I have everything that I want. Sit in that power. You owe it to yourself. Okay? So I would love for y'all to tell us down in the comments what y'all got going on, okay? Because listen, y'all, this world around us, we know what it is. We know what we're going through. We're seeing the struggle. That's why this is so important that we become who we are, because how else are we really going to fight back, right? Baby girl, imagine with me for a moment who you can help, all the good we can do by reclaiming I am and our power. Think about everything that you can do, not just for yourself, but for your communities and your families, the people that you love, when we take our power back in such a beautiful way. When we sit in the knowing of who we are in love and acceptance, and we let magic pour through that. Because I'm trying to be like, everybody in my circle is good. That's how powerful. That's how powerful I am. If you rocking with me, we rocking in the best, highest, bestest timeline. Now that's where we at. You need a safe harbor. You pass the vibe check. You can come chill with us. That's who I am. Sit in that. Know that. Believe that. Who are you? Take your motherfucking power back. Take it back right now. You owe it to yourself. You owe it to that little girl. You owe it to that little girl. Hug that little girl. Tell her you love her. Tell yourself you love yourself right fucking now. Right now. It does not matter what she says back to you. You love her anyway. Awesome. Okay. That's it, y'all. I love y'all. Eldest daughters, I'm so proud of y'all. Thank y'all for hanging out with me for another session. I hope this helped you. I hope I see some stuff in the comments. Hope y'all are finding community with each other. And I'll be back. Bye, y'all.